have a few brands on my list that I'm waiting to kind of test and try out and do full faces of. Be Perfect was one of them, and that's exactly who we did today. You guys know I've used a few things from them, and I won't shut up about that. This brand has just expanded and come out with more, and we had enough to do an entire full face. I don't want to, listen, I don't want to say anything, okay? I'll let the video do the talking about the products, but if you do want to see my opinions on things like the Be Perfect Bronzer, the Chroma Cover range, the cream blush, the powders, lashes, lip combos, all of it, keep watching. Right, brows are done. Be Perfect do have brow products, but I'm just so fussy, and they have a brow soap and another brow product, and I didn't want the brow soap and I couldn't get hold of the other brow product, so I just thought, fuck it, we'll just do my normal routine. I haven't taken the concealer all the way down my eye yet because I do actually have a eye primer from Be Perfect to try. This is the Perfect Prime Eyeshadow Priming Base. I don't normally like eyeshadow primers, I'm going to be honest. I think concealer or like the P. Louise base does the job. I have it and it's part of the video, so we're going to do it. To be fair, that looks like a concealer. I'm hoping that's how it goes on. Is there a shade to this? I don't think there is. I think it's just... it is what it is. It says it's a lightweight formula that gives ultimate staying power for vibrant and long-lasting colour. Well, I'll be the judge of that. I'm going to do the other eye and then buff that out with a brush like I normally would. Actually, that's looking really nice. Some eye primers don't have any sort of colour base to them. They more have, you know, the stick to give your eyeshadow something to stick to, but they don't have actual colour, which is what I want, because I want a nice even base to work with, right? And look at that. Do you know what? That looks good. Right now, I mean, well, it depends how the eyeshadows go on top, but I would 100% pick that up and use that again. It literally looks like I've taken my concealer down. Love. Okay, cool. Ugh, guys, when it comes to eyeshadow palette and Be Perfect, we're like this. I say it all the time, but Be Perfect have my favourite eyeshadow formula. Some of the palettes that they have, honestly, this is going to stress me out because I don't know what to use. They have done so many good collabs and eyeshadow palettes. Here's some of my favourites. So this is the Be Perfect Carnival XL Pro palette that is so well loved, as we can see. But look at the colour story on these. There's this one, Be Perfect Carnival 3. These are the Stacey Marie eyeshadow palettes, and honestly, every time she just kills it. Like, look at that. You cannot tell me shit about that. It looks so good. Be Perfect Born Ready Ellie Kelly palette, which looks like that, which is so stinking cute. And then there's this one. Like, do you know what I mean? There's a lot going on, right? In the PR that they sent across though, there's this, the Compass of Creativity Quad Eyeshadow Collection. I've not even opened this. Shall we dive in? Okay, this is cool. So we've got like 4 mini quad eyeshadow palette. Fuck me. Here they are. So you get 4 different quads, and I believe they're all sort of like color themed. So that's a pink one, a green one. That's cute. I feel like this time of year just makes me feel all the like khaki vibes. I'm so here for it. We've got a neutrals with a pop of yellow. And then the last one is blues and purples. See, that's Lush as well. They're all kind of cute. Do you know what I mean? Right. Maybe green. Should we do greens or pinks? You know what? I'm feeling the green. So let's run with this one, which is the East Emeralds palette. I feel like we could definitely do something with this. I'm not feeling anything too crazy, but we're gonna roll with this. Picking up this shade to begin with, which is the shade Avo. I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna stamp this over the entire lid. Wow. I mean, I expected nothing less, to be completely honest with you. I'm so familiar with Be Perfect eyeshadows at this point that I kind of know the sort of level to expect. That is such a beautiful like khaki shade. Like, you know, when it doesn't run too like sickly green, but it also doesn't run too dark either. Yeah, really nice. Now I'm going to go in with a clean brush, dipping into the shade Clay. I'm going to use that as like a transition shade, but I will dip a tiny bit into Avo as well, just to make sure we do get that blend too, and just run that above that colour, kind of etch along that line just to buff it out a little bit. I think I'm actually going to wing this out, so I'm going to dip back into the first shade we used and just kind of create that shape a little bit better. Not worried about it too much because we can sort of like clean anything up, but just to get that shape down. Do you know what? These are really cool, these eyeshadow palettes, because they're not too intimidating either, because there's only 9 shades in here and they make sense together. It's not all weird and random. This is what you got to work with. So you can kind of just use these shadows as your base, like this is what we're working with kind of thing, and create something from that. Like, it's not too like, shit, what do I do? Like, there's a lot you can create with it, but it's not too intimidating, I don't think. Does that make sense? Like, it's kind of got ease to it. Do you know what I also have from Be Perfect though? Some pigments, some groovy little pigments. I have used a couple of these before. I don't know if it's been these exact shades, but I've used a couple of them before. But we've got some really nice shades here. We've got Fallen Angel, which is like a really, really dark green. I feel like I want to use that one. Pretty Green Eyes, which is like quite a vibrant green. And then also Komodo, which is kind of like a khaki. I think I'm going to run with Fallen Angel, because that right now, that's hot stuff. That is giving me everything I need. Change my mind quick. I've just looked at the pigment and it's pretty dark. Do you see that? Beautiful, but it's kind of dark. So I think I just want to put a little bit of Forest, this shade here, the darker green, just on the lid too, just to deepen that up ever so slightly. And then, yeah, run back in with the brush that we use for the transition, just to sort of like buff that out. I just want it slightly deeper so it blends a little bit better. I'm going to take a tiny bit of my NYX glitter primer just on the lid, just to give that something to stick to give it the best chance. This is the fun part. Wow. I'm actually going to dip into Komodo as well, which is like a slightly brighter green just over the top to make it a little bit punchier. But look at that. Look at that. Back in with the eyeshadow brush just to obviously blend out those edges so it doesn't have like a stop-start, the shimmer. But look at that. That is beautiful. It's like a dark, smoky, sultry green shade. And then when you put that sort of lighter shade over the top, that Komodo, it just kind of makes it stand out and pop. You know, if you pop it like that, just right in that center portion like that. Bury me in that. Bury me in it. Bury me in it. How easy was that as well? I literally slapped a couple of the colours on my eye, popped the pigment on, and the look is literally done. Obviously, oh, I mean, there is fallout because it is a loose, like, pigment glitter situation. But it's nothing a little, you know, wipe can't fix. Let's clean up that edge as well while we're at it. See, there's a little bit left on the brush of, like, the glitter. I'm actually just going to take that and lightly tap that over the wing. Like that, so then from different angles it just sort of catches the light everywhere. So cute. Honestly, these pigments, these Be Perfect pigments, these are so great. Like I said, I've used some before and I was impressed with them, and then as I keep using them, I'm just loving them even more. So yeah, they're a 10 out of 10 from me. Can I just say as well that eyeshadow primer did bits. I mean, don't get me wrong, did it work the same as a concealer or my P. Louise base? Yeah, it did, but it is very rare, like I was saying earlier, that you find an eyeshadow primer that's actually an eyeshadow primer that's good, like one like these in one of these sort of like tube pots. So I'm impressed with that too. Definitely would pick that up and use that again, and that is saying something. Be Perfect have lashes, which love. I don't think they have a mascara, so of course I will just quickly apply one. I mean, you guys know I normally don't give a shit. Anyway, 4 pairs here that we could go between. This pair I'm gonna say no to you because it's just not a bit of me at all. These 3 though, these could be a vibe. So we've got this style here, which is called Vibes. Wispy, cat eye kind of effect. There is this shade, which is style. These ones are called 1111. They're like even wispier. And then there's this pair, which is called Dream Big, giving me all the volume and everything. The only thing about that pair is, you guys know me, normally I like something a bit more cat eye. Because this looks like kind of winged out, I feel like more of a cat eye lash might go nicely. I might try 1111. By the way, these are the Think Mink Universal Lash Collection. Cruelty free and vegan, and they're Luxe Silk lashes. Definitely gonna have to give these a trim because they're pretty long. I have to trim all of my lashes anyway, and I like to because I kind of prefer like a 3/4 length style lash anyway. So I'm gonna take one from the outer corner. There's even a lash glue, guys. This is the Dark Matter Intense Adhesive. Now, okay. I just like choked. Will my eyes be allergic to this? That is the question. Latex free. Oh my god, we might be all right. Shit. Brush on adhesive, which I like. I always find these way easier. It's way more controlled and mess free. Black adhesive as well, which I actually don't mind. Okay, cute. So easy to apply. Obviously, where you have black lash glue, especially if you don't have liner on like I don't, you do have to be careful because obviously you don't want the black glue to go everywhere. To be fair, that stuck on first time, so easy. And how cute are those lashes? They're like a natural fluff, like a natural wisp, which actually kind of complements the eye really nicely. If you're someone who doesn't like a lash, but you like a lash, you know, I'm not talking like an eyelure one lash where it just has like one little spine. You want something with a bit of substance but isn't too crazy. These are beautiful. They're natural and they're cute, right? And the lash band is nice and thin, so they're easy to apply and they don't feel uncomfy on either. So far so good. There is nothing I've disliked at all, but to be honest, I had really good faith already in Be Perfect's eye products. I enjoyed that. So I'm gonna run off camera, do the other eye, so we're obviously matching. And then skin. Oh my god, I'm so excited about skin. Obviously there's 1 or 2 products I've tried, but the majority of stuff I haven't. Stick around, stick around. Right, we're back. For some reason, this eye just did not want to collaborate. Thanks. You know, and it's just being so annoying. Like, it's like a spoilt brat. I've been blending it for ages and like the shape wasn't right either. So if they're looking a little off, that's why. But I feel like I've got to the point where if I keep touching it, it's just gonna get worse. Moving straight onto skin. Primer to begin with. This is the Be Perfect Perfection Primer, Golden Glow Illuminating Primer. So it says it's an illuminating primer with a warm golden pearl base, perfect for medium skin tones. It says it gives your skin a healthy, radiant glow to instantly uplift your complexion whilst improving makeup coverage. There she is. It's kind of giving me vibes of like Iconic London Radiance Booster. Obviously on the skin, we'll see kind of how it plays out. It has colour to it at the same time. So let's just go straight in. Okay, nice. Yeah, really, really glowy. This isn't the type of primer that I would typically use under my makeup. I prefer something more gripping or something more sort of to fill in my pores rather than anything glowy like this. This is the type of product that I feel like I would wear on my skin on its own. You know, nothing on it when I want to have like a no makeup day and I just want my skin to look more alive. It looks lovely on the skin. Definitely smells nice too. It kind of smells like pina colada, like coconutty. Super glowy, super radiant. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this under my foundation. Maybe if you have dry skin, this could be cool. This is definitely going to be more of like a no makeup day product, but it is beautiful. It definitely is along the same lines as the Iconic London Radiance Booster. I just think the Iconic London Radiance Booster has a bit more like coverage, almost a bit more pigment, so it looks a little bit more like it's doing something as opposed to just pure glow, but it's nice. Foundation, you guessed it, Be Perfect Chroma Cover. How could I not? This is one of my favorite foundations ever. So full coverage, so beautiful. I feel like I've spoken about it so much to the point where you guys don't even need me to talk about it, right? Just get on with it. I'm going to use a different shade though. I'm going to try W8 today. I usually use N5, N6, but I just want to try a new shade and just see. I think I do own a couple of W's, but I just always reach for the N shades because the N shades are quite warm anyway. This is shade W8. That actually looks really, really nice. Okay, let's use W8. You ready to see the magic of this foundation unfold? Because this is no joke, right? This literally covers my entire existence, basically. See that? All those blemishes gone. This is in real time. You see these breakouts and stuff that I have here? Instantly, just with a few taps, it's completely covered. Obviously the texture's still there. I can't get rid of that, but I can definitely help the color. Like with this type of foundation, I don't even need to pre-conceal. I usually do anyway, just to help me control and manage the amount of foundation I use. And it's so, for such a full coverage foundation, it's so almost just melts into the skin. Like there's no kind of like cakiness, I don't think anyway. It looks like makeup, it is makeup. I'm not trying to say that. This is not a no makeup foundation. By the way, guys, any products in this video, if you are interested, check on TikTok Shop. I now do TikTok Shop, which is so fun. If you don't follow me on TikTok, what are you doing? No, honestly, it's such a good time over there. And I do TikTok shops and there's discounted makeup products. Be Perfect's on there, which is why I'm mentioning it. So many other brands as well. So I just want to throw that out there in case you're interested. Like, for example, like the Be Perfect cream bronzer, I swear you can get it for like £4 over there. It's crazy. TikTok give you all these exclusive vouchers and the brands do discounts as well. I just want to mention that before any of you, if you see a product in here that you like, rush onto the website, see if it's on TikTok Shop first, because you get it discounted. Foundation's on. How beautiful does this look on the skin? It's just amazing. Moving over to concealer now. I feel like I may have tried this and I don't know how to feel about it. So maybe we need a little memory jog. I don't know. This is the Chroma Concealer. So this one's a little sister. Chroma Conceal Liquid Concealer. This is in W3, this shade. Because the foundation's so good, I feel like I have high hopes for this. That's quite peachy toned. I'm going to run and see if I have another shade. Guys, I do. This is W1, which looks like a nice bright shade. Maybe I'll mix the two. Ugh, immediately, I hate this applicator. The only way I can describe it right is it doesn't like apply a lot of product, which isn't the end of the world, but it's like a rock, and if I feel like it like scrapes the skin, like the concealer doesn't glide on like you want it to. Too much pressure and it just feels like it's really, really tugging at the skin. Just not the most comfortable applicator in the world. And also look how many times I feel like I need to dip in just to get the amount of product that I like. I mean, yeah, I like concealer, but hopefully the formula helps this situation a little bit. Just pop in some of W1 right here. Taking my Coco Cosmetics by Chloe Baby Marshmallow Sponge to blend it in like I normally would. Always like to use the same routine because I feel like it gives everything, you know, a fair chance. The real test is always under the eye. So let's just see how that goes. I mean, to be fair, that blended out with zero effort. I would say it's like, I mean, look at the difference. Like a high medium coverage. It actually is performing better than it feels on the skin. I know that sounds strange. If you play with makeup a lot, you'll know what I mean. It doesn't feel like much. Definitely looks better on the skin than I even thought. I feel like paired with that foundation, really, really nice. It almost is really kind of weight free. You don't really see it under the eye. Like the concealer looks like the foundation, if that makes sense. It's sitting the same on the skin. Okay, nice. When I tell you I have been holding off using this product because I wanted it for this video. Cream bronzer, cream contour, you guys know I'm just so obsessed with. And this is the Be Perfect one that everybody's raving about. This is the Cronzer. I have the shade Pecan. If you don't cream bronze, I feel like this is your sign too, because it's just the best thing ever. I just feel like it makes the rest of my makeup look great. It provides like a really good base for cream products. Right, let's hope this shade is okay. That looks good. Yeah, nice. That shade looks good. My normal brush I use is dirty right now, so I'm just going to use a different brush. Stamp it onto the skin. Well, that was easy. Almost just melts in straight away. Like you guys see, I'm going in and I'm picking up that product. You can see that I'm picking up the product. But you see how that's just sort of melting in? I don't think it's too dark, this shade. I think it's a really, really nice shade for the skin. It's really natural, actually. Really, really natural. Like you can definitely see the difference between the side that doesn't have it on and the side that does. It just warms up the complexion. Do you know what? It feels, like I'm just feeling it with my finger, it feels really, really lovely. It feels very creamy but not wet. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, there's some cream bronzers that almost lay kind of wet on the skin, like they're super, super glowy, which for someone with oilier skin is just, it's not my favorite formula ever. I want it to be creamy and blend like a dream, obviously, but I don't want it to sort of glide and slip. It's almost like a creamy matte. It's the best way to describe it, which is my favorite kind of formula. Put that down and just start to blend this all into the skin. There we go. I feel like now that I've sort of warmed that product up a little bit, it's starting to be not as shy on the skin. It's coming through a little bit more. I definitely get the Cronzer vibe. It's warm, but I can definitely see those more cooler undertones in it compared to what I normally use. I'm actually going to use this on my nose as well. I feel like it's safe that I could do that. Especially if I went in with the brush that I would normally use and applied it how I normally would, I feel like I'd love it even more. It looks lovely on the skin. It was really, really easy to use as well, and I feel like the way you apply it, you've got a lot of control too, so good. I like it. Again, another product that I'm obsessed with, blush, anything blush, cream powder, you name it, just put it on me. The Cheek Liquid Blush. It says a liquid blush that dries to a soft powder finish, so I'm going to be curious to see if you could use this sort of on top of powders. I sometimes do that with my other cream blushes. I just, you know, apply it on my hand, then apply it on the brush, and then go in softly, and it works. But obviously not all cream products you can do that because it will disturb the powder. We can maybe give that a go. This is in the shade Rosy, which looks like the perfect pink. God, they are huge. Isn't that huge? And it's like really weighty. Is it a doe foot? Okay, it's a big doe foot. Let's start with 2 dots. It's quite serumy, like it feels quite cold on the skin, like quite wet. I'm going to take it kind of underneath the eye slightly as well. Okay, cute. Yeah, cute. This shade though is my favorite. It just is all down to formula and how it's laying on the skin with the other products. And I mean, you guys can see it is just blending in effortlessly. The pigment is there. I'm just going to take a little bit more because blush is my favorite thing. Kind of shade that I use all the time. Right, I need to stop applying it now. Let's move on. One thing I will say is look how lovely they're sitting together on the skin. You see that, how they've all sort of melted together. There's no stages as such. It all looks like I've applied it together. For powder, they don't have loose powders, but they do have these. I have a lighter shade and a slightly darker shade. These are the Lockdown Luxe Press powders. I've got the shade, this one's 3.0. which looks like this, which I feel like underneath the eye and to brighten will be really lovely. 6.0 here, something I'll try and use all over if I put them together so you can see. I have to say the packaging is really, really nice. Like it feels a really, really nice quality, like it feels like a luxe product, which is always nice. What does this powder say it does, just so we have that in mind? A long-wearing skin perfecting pressed powder which blends seamlessly to minimize shine and reduce the appearance of pores. Starting with the shade 3.0, I'm just going to get that on my powder puff, pat that in underneath the eye. Like I said, I normally prefer a loose powder, but I guess it's nice to switch What? Sorry, I'm just putting some down the side of my nose so it can chill there for a sec. The difference? Let me zoom you in. You need to see this for yourself. Look at the pores. So obviously over here, because obviously their shine is attracting to the skin texture. Powdered? Not powdered. Sorry. Let's do this eye while you're zoomed in. Picked up the product. Like immediately you can see, look, where I've stamped it on. And obviously where it's not, you know, a loose powder and I'm just picking it up like this, it feels so lightweight. Genuinely, there is no change in the feel to my skin at all. It doesn't feel powdery, it doesn't feel dry. Could be because I'm used to like more heavy duty powders in terms of, you know, them being loose, a different texture. Sorry. Who gave them permission? Like, look at my forehead, ready? I'm just gonna put this in the center because it's gonna brighten anyway, but look at that. What is going on? 6.0, that's the shade I'm going to take now on a big fluffy brush. And I'm just going to dust that everywhere else to set. I'm not going to set the cream bronzer or the blush though, because I will let the powder, bronzer and blush do that. Straight away, here's the thing, I have a certain powder routine that I love. And anything that's a little bit different, because I have oilier skin, I really like to set down my skin. This doesn't necessarily feel like it's setting down my skin like this. I feel like I prefer pressing it in. It's probably a powder that I'm going to prefer underneath the eye as opposed to all over the skin. My skin still feels tacky. It hasn't completely set the skin. Maybe if I take my big Trigwell puff and then just like pick that up. Whoa. Yeah, that is much better. Pressing it into the skin like this, actually, I feel like it's setting the makeup. Moving over to powders, we have powder bronzer and powder blush. So the powder bronzer is the Fahrenheit, no idea, Pyrexia? I don't know how to say that, but it's the Luxe powder bronzer for face and body. That's the shade, Pyrexia, by the way. Very similar packaging to the powder. That looks lovely. It almost looks like it's got a sheen to it. Can you see that? Yeah. Definitely has like a satin sheen finish to it. I do prefer more of a matte bronzer, but we'll see. Oh, I'm going to be careful. Can you guys see that? There's a lot of like kickback. Just treading carefully because I don't want to put too much on. I'm just going to tap that in to begin with because obviously it's not really set and I don't want to disturb any product. Definitely can see that sheen on there. That's not my favorite finish in the world because sometimes I feel like if it has too much sheen in, it can always catch the light in certain ways sometimes and look a little bit muddy. Maybe if I set it down properly first, like set down that skin first and then went over the top with this rather than doing it the way that I'm doing. Having said that though, it's looking really, like it's making my complexion look almost glass-like. The type of products where you probably don't even need like highlighter, to be honest. I'm kind of feeling it. Like I said, it's not my normal finish, but I feel like it's making my skin look really healthy. I can imagine me reaching for this product, right? Going with my matte bronzer first to get that base down, lightly taking a bit of this and just dusting it over to kind of give my skin a little bit more, you know. Seriously, I'm not going to need highlighter because look at my skin. I'm really not. Of course, it's a mix between obviously not setting the skin as well as the finish of that bronzer, which has made it like that. But I mean, my skin looks nice, so there's nothing I can say bad about that really. It's just not my norm. And that's okay. You know, that's why I do what I do, right? Because you might discover things that aren't your norm that you really enjoy. Let's do blush. I'm a little bit concerned though that I'm going to look crazy glowy because the blush is in the same box as the other ones. So if this has like a glowy finish too, might be a little bit too much. But this is the Scorched Luxe Powder Blush. This is in the shade Helios, which says it's a soft peachy coral. Oh my God, that shade. That shade. That shade is so cute. It's actually a bit darker on the skin than it looks in the pan. Definitely has a similar finish to the bronzer. It has a really, really nice pigment to it. Like I said, it's a little bit darker. Can you see where I've picked up the product in the pan? It's gone a little bit darker compared to the outside. It does come off slightly darker on the skin than it does in the pan. But it's a really, really lovely like rose kind of pink. I wouldn't say it's a soft peachy coral though. It's a bit more intense than that. It's a little bit more pinky than that. But it is a lovely shade. It's looking really nice. Definitely way more unset that I'm used to / I would go out in. Like if I was to go out, I would definitely want the skin to be more set underneath, then apply these products. Just went ahead and quickly applied some lower lash mascara, by the way. Oh, a little bit carried away, get a little bit makeup happy. I'm excited about this lip combo because if you like my type of nudes, I have faith in this. Lip liner is called the Pout Line Lip Liner. This is in the shade Bite Me, which I think should be like a nice sort of like chocolatey brown shade. Does this need warming up? Like how me is that shade? Don't see it. Ow, what's going on? You know when it like scratches your lip? That's what's happening right now. I feel like maybe it'll work better if I don't have product. Like I always like to blank up my lips with my foundation and powder and stuff, because then I'm working with a blank canvas and I get the true colour of this product. Can you see how it's like not going over it? And like this is what I normally do with other lip liners. I don't know, but it does come off on my hand, look. That's so strange because it's actually a really, really nice shade. For example, let me take my Morphe Sweet Tea lip liner. Like, you see that? Look at the difference already. Like immediately, you see? It feels so much creamier as well. Like that one feels really hard for some reason. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Hopefully the lipstick will be better. This is the Be Perfect Pout Star Soft Matte Pout. I think they do these in different finishes. I went for the matte finish. This is in the shade Mood, which it says is the ultimate peach nude. The lipstick bullet, that is so cool. It's been like embossed. Look how cool that is. Definitely needed a little bit of warming up, but now that that's warmed up, such a cute colour. Definitely agree with like a peachy nude. That's the best way to describe that. Such a nice shade. It feels really nice and creamy and like a comfortable matte, not like, you know, a drying matte or anything like that. And that shade is lovely. I think that's everything that we have to try. What do we think? I feel like one thing I do want to do quick. I just want to powder here a tiny bit more. Just want to hit the center to chill out a little bit, but I think that's everything. So let's speak about my final thoughts. Listen up. Okay, Be Perfect is a brand that I'm a big fan of. I love their brand, I love their products, the packaging as well. Like it's a really, really cool brand. And to be honest, 99% of these products in here I would use again. A lower percentage of products I would use all the time, and what I will do is in the description box have a little look, guys, and anything that has a star next to it are my absolute must-haves. So like if you were to come to me and say, Jordan, what's your Be Perfect shopping list, tell me the products that I need, that's where they'll be, because obviously I don't want to run through everything, because you guys, if you've watched the video, you'll see my thoughts on them and I don't want to repeat myself. But quite honestly, really, really impressed. Won't lie, I had high hopes and they were met, and to be honest, that's all we were looking for.